Hey friends, welcome in. Good to see you today. We are going to work on a Santa and get him painted up. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. So, hope everybody's doing good today. And we're just going to get started. It is super cold here, but it is also super sunny. So, in my mind, the best of all the worlds to get the sun with the, if it has to be cold, at least please let it be sunny, right? So I'm gonna put my white on, my largest color, or my lightest color first. I think my poor brush has seen a better day. Maybe it'll be all right once we got a huge workout the other day, so sometimes you gotta replace them, right? Yeah, so I'm just super happy that it was cold. It was like -3 this morning. I'm sure there are other super cold spots in the country that we're not the only ones, but 3 below, I don't know if that was with the wind chill or not. 3 below is cold enough, right? It's supposed to warm up a little bit this weekend, I think. And that's coming fast because tomorrow's Friday already, so. And it's not as cold as it could be, or it will be yet this winter. Before winter's over, we'll have some pretty cold days. So I'm just painting along the edge. Give it a nice finished look. Over here using the same color, getting the rest of it painted, right? And this may not be the way some of you do it, but even though these two parts here will be white as well, I like to do like each section. See, if we were in school, I'd probably say each subject on its own. So I will go in and do them, but who knows? How many others do that? That's just the way I like to do it. Actually, I do know some other people who do that, but. I'm going to use a little smaller brush to do his eyebrows. This brush seems a little bit big for that. Okay. I think I have another one of these brushes somewhere too. They are some of my favorites. Let's go ahead and get his eyebrows done right now. As long as we're using that white. His nose will be pink and this will be like a cream color. I have a specific color I like to use for things like skin tone and things like that. Sometimes I have to add a little, depending on what I'm using it for. It isn't always for skin tone, but depending on what I'm using it for, I sometimes have to add a little bit of a tiny bit of whatever color is appropriate for the project we're doing, but it's one of my favorites. Okay. I'm curious if we get people on the replay, what the weather's actually like in other parts of the country. Anybody still warm? Is everybody cooled off or pretty cool for them? I bet you we've gotten probably 13 inches of snow, which compared to the last few years seems like a lot for this time of year, but from when I was a kid, it does not. So I think it's really all about, I don't know exactly what it's all about, but. Okay, so now I'm gonna use that color. Let's see if this is it. This might be just a little too dark. Yeah, this one's too dark. So if you haven't been here before, you haven't caught it before, if I'm going to use a lot of one color for something, I will mix it up in one of these condiment containers and keep it on hand, especially if I'm doing like multiples of the same project. It's just easier that way, and then the colors all match, right? So let's get this done. This color is Buttermilk. Buttermilk by Deco Art, and I use this to either mix or just itself for a lot of things. So the container that I was looking at a few minutes ago, that actually had just a few drops of brown mixed in with it for a project I was doing actually for the reindeer that we painted, just because it had 3 different tones of brown on it, from light to medium to dark, and that just gave it like a really nice, it looked good, a really nice sort of light brown color. Spin it around and do the other side. shoot, I was gonna grab my, oh darn, I was gonna grab my blow dryer. And that's the only thing I forgot before I get on here. After the whole missing blow dryer debacle of the other day. You never care if they borrow, you just want to make sure it gets back. Because it hadn't been borrowed in a long time, and I reached down to grab it, and bam, it was not there. So I think we'll be fine though for right now. All right. Now we're going to go to the pink. I think I have the right Aura Right pink mixed up that we can use for his nose, that we used for a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's already mixed up, so we might as well just use it rather than mix again. You can see when I mix it up, I mix a lot, because if it's a color I know I'm going to use a lot, it's just so much easier to have it right there and handy versus mixing it again. And you know what, for as cold as it was outside this morning, when I went outside to take the dog out about an hour ago, it was not that bad out, but I think it's because the sun is shining. I expected it to feel a lot worse, but I was happily surprised that it did not. So that was a good thing. And yeah, this is not too dark, it's not too light. It's a nice pink nose color. All right, we got that much done. Now we're gonna do a red hat, but instead of just like a white brim and a white pom-pom, we're gonna do white and green and white and green. I was considering white and blue, but I don't know, I think we'll stick with green. Get it done. I honestly think you could do I think you could probably do any color combination that you want, and that you thought went with the red, or you thought that went with, you know, wherever you wanted to use it, or your color scheme was, that kind of thing. I really do. You don't know till you necessarily try it, but I do think you could do that. So I'm going to use a little bit different brush. This is actually the brush I was looking for before. Okay. So because we got a really big territory to cover, I am going to put, actually, I think I'm going to go the green and white first. They're lighter. If the red goes over it at all, it'll be good. I just think that's usually what I try to do or remember to do, is do the lighter color first. So I'm gonna start out with this one. Hang on just a second. Give me just a second. I don't know what that was that fell. All right. So let's do this. We're just going to alternate that white and green along the brim of his hat. Again, I don't think it would have to be green. I think you could do other colors, and sometimes you could actually probably do, think about this idea. We could probably make, if you were a pastel decorator and really like the pastels, we could probably make the main part of the hat more pastel. And then, you know, the colors that you had here and on the pom-pom, you could kind of coordinate with that. I think it might be good, cute, with a really cute light or pastel blue color for the hat. Maybe some, we might have to try this, maybe some snowflakes on the hat, and you could use other pastel colors on the brim and the pom-pom. That's what I think that might be super cute. We may have to try that. Okay. We're gonna make the base of the pom-pom white, and we're gonna use the green for the polka dots on here, or the circles on here, whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, that pastel one would be super cute, wouldn't it? It'd be a great piece to go with, you know, a whole decor setup that was pastel. I kind of like both, and I'm always interested in if people like very traditional colors or if they prefer, you know, something a little different, more pastel. What is their preference? I find that really interesting and neat. Neat to find out. I have gotten a lot done today. It has been a great day. We got the sides painted around the pom-pom. The next big part that's painted is going to be the brim and the actual Santa hat, right? So that is what's up next. And what I was, well, let's finish the green first. We aren't going to do the green on the pom-pom yet because I don't have my blow dryer and I want it to dry before we do that. So we will save that until it's dry. And I love this green because it's not a super dark green, like dark meaning like a real true dark Christmas green. But it is green for Christmas, and it is a pretty green. This is one of my favorite green paint colors. Y'all, I heard this noise. I didn't know what it was. It's the dog snoring over on his dog bed. He can't be more than, ever, he doesn't like to be more than 2 feet from me, so he's always where we are, working and painting and using glitter. That's why T's sometimes he usually can be found with a piece of glitter here or there that he's wearing. And I think we'll be good for coverage, but as always, if we need to go over any colors, any part of this, you know, to get the best coverage, we sure will. And we always do. Okay. So over here we'll do green on the edge, and then the rest will be red on the edge. Okay. So because we have so much red, we're just going to pour some right on there. Probably not the best way, but the way that works for me sometimes to break those seals. See how easy that came off? Yeah, it's the problem with red. Glad it didn't go on my shirt. That's why I'm wearing an apron. If you're like me, you either want to wear your old clothes or an apron, or just be extra careful, because it never fails. No matter how careful I am, something like that'll happen. Okay. I love red though. Such a pretty, striking color. And I actually think if someone wanted to, you could hand letter something on Santa's hat here. You could put ho ho ho, or, you know, whatever fit what you wanted to do. I'm going to go ahead and paint the side, get that done. Coverage on the red is definitely going to be good enough. And get a few more down here. We don't want too much because we don't want it to be sloppy, but got to get enough to get the job done, right? All right. So here we have our Santa Claus. I think what we're going to do, because I minus my blow dryer again, is I'm going to go ahead. We're going to stop now. I'm going to let this dry. Then I'll come back. We'll finish it up. What we're going to finish up is, if there's anything we needed to touch up, we're going to put the green accents on here. And then we're going to outline it. We're going to add the glitter. We're going to put the puff paint on. We're going to give them all of the good stuff to make the design come to life. And that's the fun part. Starting out with the blank piece of wood, and taking it to the end where, you know, we've put in all the pieces and all the elements, and now it's all come to life. So thank you guys for hanging out today, for checking out the live. We will come back and get this done. And there aren't little, there's a glare, there's a shadow from something is what these little darker lines that look like darker lines, there's just a shadow. We will come back and get this done possibly yet later this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll get it done tomorrow. I think we should have time. And I look forward to seeing you guys all then. Thank you so much. You guys have a great afternoon.